Welcome to the Cardinals Caravan. Tonight you'll get to know the St. Louis Cardinals through one-on-one interviews conducted by students and KGCS staff. But we begin with the fan forum held in the Taylor Performing Arts Center. Here's MSSU President Dr. Dean Van Galen.
Thank you, Lisa. Good morning, everyone. It's great to have you here on the campus of Missouri Southern State University. Thanks for braving a pretty chilly morning to enjoy the Cardinals Caravan. The university is very happy to host this event. It's great to have you here. I'll bet we have some folks from where? Webb City? You from Webb City, anyone? Carl Junction? Carl Junction. Neosho? Joplin? Anyone from Arkansas? All right, fantastic. Well, it's great to have you here this morning. We're delighted to host the Cardinals Caravan. I had a chance to visit with some of the players. They're not only great athletes, they're great people. And I think you'll enjoy visiting with them and hearing from them this morning. So what we say here is go Lions, and we also say go Cardinals today. And to kick us off, absolutely, to kick things off, I'd like to welcome and introduce the Missouri Southern cheer team. Give them a round of applause. Come on now.
Way to go, cheerleaders. Oh, Fredbird, you got some high kicks. Woo, got any tumbling you got going there? Ooh, oh, cramp. Fredbird needs to take a little bit of a break since he did all this cheering. Aw. Well, everybody, the Cardinals are here. They're lining up. They're ready to be going. Are you ready? Woo! Fredbird, are you ready? Okay, that was not enough. Okay, Fredbird says not good enough. Are you ready? Please give a big round of applause and a warm welcome to KMOX Sports Cardinals MC, Tom Ackerman.
Hey, Fred. What's up, man? How are you? Great to see you. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. How about those St. Louis Cardinals, the 11-time world champions? We're going to hear about them in just a moment. Excuse me while I sip on this delicious coffee. We had coffee backstage. We had snacks. We had all kinds of, I thought they were going to roll out trays of yogurt parfaits and bowls of passion fruit. I didn't know what was going on. It was fantastic. They have, what's really great here is the communications department here at Missouri Southern State University. They had their students interviewing our players, our alumni, and as a media school graduate of Indiana University who really tries to push that at our school, I really appreciate that. So thank you to MSSU for doing that, for growing new media members so that we can add more to my industry. I just wanted to say that. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, we are very excited. This is the Cardinals Caravan. It's presented by Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance, and we want to take a moment and thank a few people before we get started. Thank you, Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance. Thank you, Chris Hayes and Zimmer Radio. We have 150 radio affiliates in the country. It is an unbelievable network of fans and radio affiliates, and we can't do it without you. Lisa Olgas Green at Missouri Southern State University, we appreciate you. United Way of Southwest Missouri and Southeast Kansas. Most importantly, the fans for their attendance and support. We know the timing is perfect because the Chiefs are playing at 3:30, so we're, right, 3:30, so we're good to go. We're going to have a great time on the bus heading back our way, watching that game ourselves. I want to introduce some members of our front office staff, if I could, please. And I know they're kind of scattered around, but they will hear your loud round of applause. Please, let's hear it for marketing. Katie Casabon. Thank you, Katie. All right, folks, let's introduce our players. They're going to be coming right down the aisle our way. Let's start with our starting pitcher. I like that. Let's get that right out of the gate. He came alive last year as a starting pitcher for this club. He made the opening day roster back in 22 as a non-roster invitee, and his story is terrific. He went from bullpen to being part of our rotation, and for a while there, one of the great starters in baseball. Please welcome Andre Palante. This next player went the other way. He went from starter to reliever, and he is one of our most effective relievers. In fact, he can come out of the pen and throw 2 innings if we need him, sometimes 3 even. I'll bet you he can bring it from the left side. Man, he's got a hard fastball, and he's a great guy. Can't wait to see what he can do this year. Matthew Liberator. Another great one in our bullpen is just full of potential. The last year, he was sidelined with injuries after a spectacular start to the season in spring training. Please welcome out of the Cardinals bullpen, Riley O'Brien. We have a lot of great hitting prospects in our organization, and here's one of them right here. Since his professional debut in 2021, he leads all minor leaguers with a .298 batting average, 4th in hits, 5th in on-base percentage, led the International League last year with 143 hits. Matt Koperniak. And I hate to brag, but I really do have the best of all the Caravans. We've got an unbelievable group and a great pair of alumni. Each of them have been world champions. They wear World Series rings. Our first one is a 13-year MLB veteran. He has been a coach, he has been a broadcaster, and he still is, and he's one of our great alumni. Please welcome Benji Molina. And not a lot of people can say that they were born in St. Louis and went on to win a World Series with the St. Louis Cardinals. I can think of Mike Shannon, perhaps David Freese, you may know him. This is a teammate of David's on the 2011 World Champions, and he was a huge part of that team and that season, and he remains a big part of our organization. He has done broadcasting, he coaches youth baseball, and he's a great ambassador to our entire organization. Please welcome world champion Kyle McClellan. We absolutely love being here with you. And before we get started with our guys, and I love the setup, of course, a great media school and communications department brings all the microphones. They know they're ready. They've got bottles of water. We're going to have autographs up here on stage for the kids in just a little bit. But a chance for you to ask some questions. I don't know if there's a microphone that's going to be out there so that we can hear your questions. I'm happy to take one out there if we need to. But I'm going to start with these guys. And Kyle, I'll start with you, if you don't mind. You're right here. You're the first person I see. But, you know, we get to come down to Joplin. This is my probably third or fourth trip, but it's been a great trip. We were in Springfield all day yesterday. We're going to end up in Rolla on the way home. And I was asked by one of the interviewers in there about, you know, why is it so special to be on the Caravan and be able to see all these fans up close? What's the Caravan experience like for you?
Yeah, this is great. You know, growing up in St. Louis and understanding Cardinals fans, but then, you know, you get out and come out and see them, you know, in areas that aren't in St. Louis, but we know how far that reach is. For me being in St. Louis, I've spent a lot of time in Springfield, played in Springfield. You know, I've been on the Caravan a ton there. And actually, I was telling these guys, I was here in Joplin after the tornado hit in 2011. Came down for that just a few days after it was here, so was here with the community during that. It was just a crazy time, I know, for you guys, and for us to be a part of that, you know, a small part of that recovery, you know, was great for us just to be down here and to kind of support the community. So anytime we get to be out around Cardinal fans is always awesome, to get to know these younger guys a little bit and know that you guys are in great hands with the future of the organization is a great thing.
That's a great point. You know, we have a lot of local appeal, regional appeal, but we're also very much a national team with one of the biggest fan bases in sports. But it goes beyond that, Benji. We also have an international fan base, and part of that is because of you, because of what you and Polo Asensio have done with your Spanish language broadcast. Folks, we are up to 10 affiliates now on our Spanish language broadcast. Isn't that great? And I know, Benji, that it's been a great experience for you, and I actually did not know until you told me on the bus, or you said to the crowd yesterday, that this is your 10th year behind the microphone with the team.
Yes, I don't know how that happened because we only have 2 listeners. It's my mom and Polo's mom, but we're improving. We might have the third one coming up. No, it's a great opportunity for us to take the game in our language. A lot of people, they can see Contreras, they can see Herrera, they can see Pedro Pajes and all these guys. Yes, they understand the English, but their mom, their dad, their cousins, their uncles and aunts, they don't speak the language. So for us to be able to do that in our own language, it's super great. I love it. I love what we're doing. I love what we're bringing, obviously, to the Cardinals. I am super excited and thankful for the Cardinals who give us the opportunity to do that.
Well, we love having you part of it. One of our great broadcasters, Benji Molina, brings so much life to the game, you know? And Matt, if you can pull that microphone to you, one of the cool things about you, what you said yesterday, which I wanted you to repeat to the Joplin audience, you know, you grew up in Massachusetts, so naturally you're a Red Sox fan. Grew up a Red Sox fan, and you were around such a great baseball fan base, but you see a lot of similarities in the passion that St. Louis brings, don't you?
Yeah, for sure. My opinion, it's the same exact culture, if not better. The fan base is really tight, and it's definitely something I'm looking forward to trying to debut this year, and just trying to play in front of all the fans here in Missouri and St. Louis as well.
One thing I wanted to ask you, Matt, also that I haven't brought up since yesterday morning is a little known fact. Maybe not a lot of people know this, but they will once the story gets out a little bit more, is that Matt actually played for somebody very famous this offseason. His manager down in the Dominican Republic was none other than Albert Pujols. That's kind of amazing. And I just wanted to, if you could convey to the audience what that was like to see number 5 running the show.
Yeah, it was definitely a little nerve-wracking, just knowing who he was for sure. Growing up, watching him play, seeing how he went about his business, and then now here I am playing for him. But it was a great experience down in the DR. Got to see a different culture for sure, and play some high-level baseball and for Albert Pujols. So couldn't ask for anything different than that. It was a special experience for sure.
Riley, you have been with the club for a little over a year. You came to us via trade. That was back in November of 23. What have you learned about being a Cardinal over the last year? And the second part of that is, what do you look forward to in 25?
Yeah, I mean, I would say my first impressions are the fan base. I was drafted by Tampa, played for Cincinnati, Seattle, so some smaller fan bases. So I was very impressed to see when I got to St. Louis just how many Cardinals hats there are, jerseys, even coming to these cities in the Caravan, like how well you guys turn out, and the fan base has been incredible. And for 2025, I would say the biggest thing for me is staying healthy. Last year, missed some time with some injuries, and so yeah, this year the main goal is stay healthy and put a full season under my belt.
And Matthew and Andre, this is for each of you because I'm really excited for both of you. You know, I keep saying in 25, this is about the young guns. You know, we want to see what the young pitchers and the up-and-coming pitchers and players can do. And this is going to be an opportunity for you to do so. At the same time, last year you were able to learn from some great ones, and one of them is staying over in Sonny Gray. But Kyle Gibson and Lance Lynn and some of these pitchers that have been around for a while, I'm sure made a great impression on you.
Yeah, being able to be in the clubhouse with some of those guys, you know, the conversations that happen behind the scenes, the things that the fans don't really get to see, those might be some of the most invaluable experiences we've had in our careers, and things that, you know, you might never hear about, but for us, they could change the trajectory of our career in an instant. So, you know, seeking out those conversations from the guys that have been there, done that, who have lots of experience and time in this game and have had many successes and many failures. You know, they're both equally important, and being able to learn from them for both of us has been very important for our careers.
Yeah, there's not really much to add to that. I mean, you kind of covered all of it, but I mean, I thought they were great teammates, and I think they really helped bring out the best of all of us. So I think, you know, that was just really cool of them to spend that time where, you know, they've got families and they've got other stuff going on, but they truly were invested in our success, and that's a sign of a good teammate.
Yeah, truly passing on Cardinal baseball to each other. You know, that is what they do. The men that wear these uniforms do it not only for their own careers, but they pass on this great tradition that you cheer for and that you love and you have loved your entire lives. Everybody, once you wear the Cardinal uniform, you're a Cardinal for life. And that's one of the special things about it. I wanted to open it up to questions, if we can, from the crowd, because it really is about you, the fans. And let me say this. This game is about you. We want you to come up to St. Louis and come see us. We want you to make the trip to Springfield so you can scout our AA guys and tell us how they look, and send it up to St. Louis, because that's what's going to happen. The Cardinals are going to grow this system, and these young prospects are going to go on to be stars, and they are going to develop them to be stars. That is the mission of the Cardinals right now. Let's send it on over. We've got a microphone. Fantastic. Let's start it off with our first question.
I'm in kid pitch, and this year coming in to 2025, I'm usually play pitcher, and I was wondering, is there anything I can do to help me be a little bit better?
I think there's a lot of things that you can do to help you be better. First and foremost, I hope that you love what you're doing, that you're having fun. I think that's the thing that'll keep you playing. After that, how old are you? 10 years old? Man, try to eat well, sleep well, get outside and be active as much as you can, play other positions, play other sports. You know, you might be a pitcher for the rest of your life, but I think it's very valuable to be an athlete first and a baseball player second. So, you know, go out and ride skateboards or bikes and play tag and play basketball, play volleyball. Try and do as much as you can to be athletic.
Let's keep it in that section. That section's hot over there. They want to ask some questions. That's like press row over there. All right, let's go.
What is your guys' favorite place to play?
Favorite place to play?
Outside of Busch Stadium, I thought Boston was a really cool place to play, Fenway Park.
Favorite position?
To play.
It's been a while since I've played anything other than pitcher, but I had a good time at third base.
I haven't done anything besides pitch since I was 16, but I really enjoyed playing the outfield and trying to throw guys out, trying to take an extra base or score a run.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as these guys. I've been pitching since I was a sophomore in high school. So, yeah, that's all I really know. But I would say I did like to play outfield. It was nice to run down some fly balls and try to throw guys out.
I'm only an outfielder now, but in college I definitely enjoyed playing third base as well.
Before I keep going, Tom, if you want to be a good pitcher, you got to fix up your eyelashes every day, okay, buddy? In our family, as a Molina, we were not allowed to play any other positions other than catcher, so that was my favorite.
I was a pitcher, also played first base. In high school, was going to go to college and play first base as well, so that would be my other option.
Yeah, go ahead. Did we have another? Yeah, here we go on this side, guys, to the right.
What was your favorite MLB player growing up?
Favorite MLB player growing up?
Favorite MLB player growing up? For me, probably Ozzie Smith. I mean, I grew up in St. Louis in that time, so pretty easy one.
Mine was Roberto Clemente. That was my favorite player.
I would say either David Ortiz or Hunter Pence.
I'm from Seattle, so I would have to say Ichiro.
I'd say probably Nolan Ryan or Sandy Koufax.
I'd go with Mike Mussina. I had a pretty cool experience getting to see him pitch.
Good question. I like it. Yes.
What secret phrases do you guys have this year?
Secret phrases. Well, if I were to disclose that I've never been noodling before, that would probably be maybe my phrase. Is this mic work? For those of you that don't know, we have yeah, okay. Well, I mean, it's the cat's out of the bag, right? So we have words we have to work into our answers.
I did mine already.
So if you notice some odd, like eyelashes, you need to be a pitcher, you know that. And I've never been noodling. So we still got a few more that I got to figure it out so you guys can figure it out.
Yeah, we got to work.
Yeah, we got to work it in.
How about this? How many? Raise your hand if you already did your secret word. All right. Okay. There we go. All right.
Good question.
Where are we? Well, on that side, guys.
What do you tip for hitting and pitching?
Tips for hitting and pitching.
So I coach both my kids. So if you're talking about for kids, I can give you some advice, and then these guys can tap in. But man, the biggest thing that I tell my kids is to put the work in at home. And you know, when we show up for my team practices and we do our work there, that's one thing. But the kids that put in the work at home and maybe they hit off the tee 10, 15, doesn't have to be 100 times, maybe 10, 15 swings a day, or they play catch at home, or they flip the ball up in the air and catch it. Those kids start to progress faster because they get so many reps in over the week, and those compound over the years, and it's hard to catch up. So my advice would be, especially at your age, just grab a ball and play at home. It's going to make you a lot better.
Let's go to this side. You got this.
Go back and forth.
I wanted tips for improving for catcher.
Tips for improving for catcher.
The catcher? Okay. Your body, obviously, your body needs to be stronger. Your legs needs to be stronger. You got to be mentally tough every single game out. You know you're going to get hit, foul tips. You know you're going to be beat up. So mentally tough, the toughness is really, really key. For being a catcher out there, I think we need to be leaders. We need to be the positive guy out there. You could go 0 for 3 in a game, but you have to be that guy that keeps the pitcher going. You have to be the guy who be a good teammate, all that stuff. So if you're asking me as a catcher, all those things go together. So your body just working out, working your legs so you can last all 9 innings every day. So, mentally tough and all that, it's very, very important.
We got a great line of questions here. Okay, here we go. Are we going to the other side? Okay.
My question was, who was your guys' baseball idol that when you were growing up?
We already did that one.
Oh, okay. What tips do you have? Have any of you guys ever played golf?
Good luck.
I got no tips for you. I'm not a golfer.
I'll give you a golf tip. It starts right here. Grip first. It's everything. I'm actually relearning it because my game has gone backwards. Let's go to this side.
Yeah, this is for Matt. I know in your earlier days you had problems with some left-handed pitching. And you had a short sample where you had some success. Seeing as how the Cardinals are probably going to make you their fourth, maybe fifth outfielder, which in the Cardinal organization, keeping 3 outfielders healthy all year is very rare, which means you'll probably get 300-400 at bats. What are you doing to address hitting left-handed pitchers?
That's a good question. Not a lot changed. I did know that I was having difficulties with lefties early in my career, but I guess in the last couple of years, just getting more practice with it, seeing velocity from the left side is different than from the right, especially for lefties. For some reason, I don't know what it is, but it's just weird for us. But just trying to get more practice with it and get more comfortable facing lefties, I guess, for sure.
Appreciate the question. Here we go. Back on the other side.
Do you guys miss Lottie? Yachty.
Do you miss Yachty?
How can you not?
He can stay home.
Who's the funniest on your team?
Funniest on the team.
I'd have to go with Miles. He usually likes to pull some pretty good impractical jokes, bring some funny stuff into the clubhouse. Last year, we were in San Diego, and he has some connections out there with the zoo, and he actually was able to get his hands on a spider monkey to bring into the field and surprise everybody in the clubhouse. That was a pretty good experience.
That's pretty good. Are we going front row?
All right, mine's more not a question, but a reason why I brought my daughter here today is because my foster father, who died almost a year ago, God bless his soul, he was your guys' biggest fan, I swear. And he took me with my foster family when I was a kid to go see you guys in St. Louis against the Indians. And I'll never forget it. He barely was able to meet my daughter before he passed. So I respect you guys a lot for all you guys do for us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's awesome. Thanks for sharing that.
I am also a Joplin tornado survivor.
Yeah.
I was hit at 17th and range line, and it scared to. It was definitely an experience.
Yeah.
I had my pelvic bone snapped and crushed, so I'm lucky to be walking today.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very blessed.
Well, we and that's why we come on these caravans to hear those stories, and we hear it all the time whenever we travel. The generational Cardinals fans, and that's what's so awesome. KMOX Radio was a big part of that, the reach that they had, and to see, family members coming to games and generations, and that continuing, and that's a huge part. So thanks for sharing that story.
How many days of a week have you played since you were 10?
How many what?
How many days of a week have you played since you were 10?
For me, it's every day.
Yeah.
I live right in front of the stadium, so every day, buddy. Get it in your head.
What's your favorite thing to do besides baseball?
Great question.
Noodling.
Going to the beauty salon for my eyelashes. Fishing is my next thing.
I enjoy fishing too in the off season. That's one of my favorite things.
I like to cook, but I also like to dance. I've been recently learning how to do the Gangnam style, if you guys know what that is. So,
Can you give us a demonstration? Come on.
Come on now.
I think it's something like this.
No.
Oh, is this?
Let's hear it for Andre Palante, everybody.
That's his new introductory video on the board at Busch Stadium when he's warming up. Now pitching. Anybody else? Matthew, what are you doing outside of baseball?
I do play a lot of golf. I don't play very well, but I play.
There's too much.
I'm
Good
the same,
stuff.
actually. I like to golf too, as well.
Little golf. We got a long line of questions. Let's try to get as many as we can in so we have time for autographs. Let's stay down. Unless, do you have some over there? Oh, you do? Okay. Let's do a couple more over here and then a couple more over there. How's that sound?
I would like to know how you guys slowly got your arms strong enough to pitch fast as you can right now.
Say how we get our arms strong enough to pitch fast. A lot of working out, believe it or not. Most of the training doesn't have to do with the arm. I don't know if you guys have ever heard the saying, the legs feed the wolf. So if your legs aren't strong, if they can't carry you, your arm's not gonna work very well. So we do a lot of arm care, work on our shoulders, work on our forearms, but the bigger component to that is probably working the legs and the core and the back.
Yeah, I'd say, just working hard, keeping your body in shape. There's not a lot of razzle-dazzle to it. It's just kind of, you got to put in the hard work and, just do what you can to get your body right and feeling good for the season.
How long do you guys get to stay at home in between games?
8 hours.
It's a grind for sure. How about over here? We got a few more minutes.
This is for the pitchers. What's your guys' favorite pitch to throw in game?
For me, definitely a slider. That's my go-to pitch and definitely the one I enjoy the most.
I like the one that gets them out.
I like throwing the fastball just because it's simple and you just kind of go out there and throw as hard as you can.
What's your
She's
Nico, I can do it. What's your favorite memory of in baseball?
Favorite memory in baseball. That's good.
Yeah, my favorite memory, obviously the 2011 World Series was great, but my favorite memory is my debut. I grew up in St. Louis, so my debut was on opening day in St. Louis in front of all my friends and family. In a 1-0 game in the 5th inning, got called in to face Matt Holliday was my first hitter, 3-4-5 of the Rockies who just went to the World Series the year before, and so that was a memory that I'll never forget.
Mine was 2002, winning the World Series in Anaheim, and looking back and seeing my brother running towards me was pretty cool. We cried together on TV, on national TV. So those are my favorite memories.
I think signing the day I signed to become a professional baseball player for sure. But hopefully I can change that and something in the future as well, something better.
Yeah, I would say for me, it was probably making my debut in 2021. It wasn't necessarily the best game I'd ever pitched, but having a bunch of family there, and it was just a really cool experience and something I was very grateful to have.
I think my favorite memory so far was getting to watch Pujols go on his run and make it to 700 home runs. That was something that every time I think about, still to this day, I get chills. And it was just incredible. He's a great teammate, a great guy, and seeing him come back here and kind of resurrect his season a little bit in that second half and go on that run was one of the most incredible things I've ever seen.
So my grandfather, my family's from Youngstown, Ohio, and my grandfather never got to see me pitch until I signed with the Cardinals, and I pitched for the State College Spikes, and we played in Mahoning Valley, which is pretty close to where they are. So on 4th of July, at the time, I pitched in front of the biggest crowd in my career. It was like 6,300 people, and he was one of them at the game, and I remember him talking to me afterwards, like that was so cool to go out there and see you throw. And he passed away before I debuted, so his funeral was actually on the day of my debut. But it was cool to have him at least get to see me throw one time.
It's one of the great things about the Caravan is that we can share those things with you and back and forth with each other. So thank you so much. Let's do one more.
Okay, so I'm from St. Louis, and I just want to know what is your favorite place to eat and things to do for those that drive the 4 hours to go to the game. City Museum, the Arch, that's kind of, but favorite food.
I really like barbecue, so Pappy's Smokehouse was probably my favorite place to go for like ribs and something like that. Things to do, Forest Park in the middle. I have a good time there.
My favorite place I've been to so far is probably Cafe Napoli. It's an Italian restaurant. No, I don't think Cafe Napoli is on the hill. It's in Clayton.
It's in Clayton.
And as far as things to do, I don't tend to get out too much during the season. I like to try and spend my time recovering, so maybe watching the insides of my eyelids.
I would say favorite place I've been to is 801 Chop House. Get a good steak. And something to do, I would say my wife and I, we enjoyed going to the zoo. It was pretty cool.
I haven't really been able to eat in St. Louis yet, but maybe something like, I've heard the fried ravioli is good as well.
Well, mine is Rosalita's. I think it's a very good place to go eat and family, oriented. I think it's a lot of things to do in St. Louis. Science, the Magic House, the Arch, the zoo. There's a lot of stuff going on out there.
Yeah, for me, if my wife and I have an opportunity for a date night, Capitol Grill is always one of our favorites down there. So a lot of those restaurants are all right next to each other there in Clayton. Things to do: Top Golf. You come out to Chesterfield a little bit further. There's Top Golf, and there's a lot of development happening out in that area. I live out closer in that direction, but Chesterfield's got a lot of things happening right now. They have a nice mall. Nice mall. They just tore it down. Yeah.
But they're building. They're
not so
build
nice
that.
anymore, but it used to be nice. Yeah. You got to go to South County, a little south now for the next. Yeah, we only got one mall really, a Galleria and West County Mall are only two now.
All great answers. We have such a great region. St. Louis is so much more than going to the ball game. So we do encourage you to explore and have some fun in St. Louis and make a weekend of it. I'll tell you what, I've been told we are actually ahead of schedule. So let's do just a few more. Let's try to get through this line right here. Can we go with questions from this group?
How many All-Stars do you have on your team?
Was the question all-stars at the table?
How many all-stars on the team?
Oh, on the team? Well, I'm anticipating quite a few this year. I think you got a real chance. I'll answer for them on that one. I think that you've got a real chance for some of the young guys to emerge. And I said it yesterday. I think the guy who's going to have a big season for this team is Wilson Contreras. I think he wants to be here, and he wanted to make that move. They talked about him playing first base, I think, for a number of reasons. One, he will stay healthy there. It gives the catchers a chance to show what they can do, Pajes and Herrera. But I think Contreras, you let him, now they're going to have to help him in the lineup to do this, but a middle-of-the-order bat like that, I think he will be an all-star, and then you'll have a couple others follow his lead. I think the Cardinals are going to be better than people think, and I think there's a chance they have a better record than they did last year. I think they just, really when it comes down to it, they could not hit. They just could not hit. They would be the first to admit it. In big situations, they did not come through. If that changes, the way the pitching staff is built right now, they got a chance to be a lot better than people think, but they're going to have to hit. Good.
How many strikeouts are you going to do this year?
I'll put that one to O'Brien first, because I've got the numbers here. Where is it? 12.38 strikeouts per 9 innings. That's a lot.
Like to try to do that again this year. It's hard to put a number on it, but you always try to get as many strikeouts as you can.
That's good. Libby can strike him out. Andre obviously can. Andre is also as I'm going through stats, ground ball specialist. How about this for Palante? The second best ground ball percentage in Major League Baseball since 2022.
Who's the better catcher, you or Yachty?
These are the questions I came here for. I love it.
Well, let me tell you something to you, buddy. Before Yachty, it was Benji Molina. All right, so I'm the fastest Molina, so write it down. You have a pen? I'm the fastest Molina. I made it first, and I'm the best catcher than us three.
How do I get better at batting?
How do you get better at batting?
Doing it a lot.
Yeah, I would say
A lot of repetition, buddy.
You got a tee? Do you know what a tee? You hit off the tee ever? So that might be your first step. See if you can get a tee, put a ball on that, and hit that thing into a net about 100 times a day.
Hey, also tell your dad or mom to buy some corn or beans and use the broomstick and tell them to toss it to you so you can have that eye and hand-eye coordination very good.
That's pretty good. Yep.
How many games have you won?
I don't know how to answer that one. Tell you the truth. I know they can because they have the stats, right? Like wins and losses. So, but for us,
not enough.
Yeah,
you always win. Always win more.
The goal is always to get the win, no matter what. What did you do? Even if you're 0 for 4, Paul Goldschmidt was a great example of that. If he went 0 for 4, what could he do to win the game? Make a great play at first, make a smart base running play, move a runner over, whatever he could do to get the win for the team. He's one of the great team players. We're going to miss him. One of the great team players we've had. Let's do 3 more.
How did you guys get your team name?
Team name? It goes back to like 1900. They were the St. Louis Perfectos, which is kind of a cool name. Before that, they were the Brown Stockings, and they had a couple of other names. And as the story goes, it was a woman in the seats who commented, and the owner of the team was sitting nearby, said that I think that team, I love their colors. It's a lovely shade of cardinal. This is as the story goes. And the owner at the time went back and made the change, decided that sounds actually kind of good. So they called them the St. Louis Cardinals, and it stuck. and it's one of the great teams, in baseball history.
That's a good question. Shoot.
Keep your eye on the ball. What else can you do without keeping your eye on the ball?
Keeping your eye on the ball while hitting, what else can you do besides keeping your eye on the ball? Anybody want to take that one?
100% on the ball. It's very important. Like you said, keep your eye on the ball. I think it's the number one answer. But also, like we've been saying here before, a lot of repetition, a lot of swings, facing pitchers, different kinds of pitchers, even your dad, your mom, whoever's pitching to you. I think that helps a lot. But that's the number one, keeping an eye on the ball. That's the number one.
And the last one, this young man, I want him on my team because his shirt says dominate. That's what I'm talking about.
What is your best player from 2024?
Who was our best player in 2024? Boy, I'm going to go with Ryan Helsley. Led the majors in saves. He's back with us. Another reason why I think we're going to be really good. Libby, can you say a word about Ryan Helsley and what he does for this team?
Helsley might be one of the most unsuspecting guys ever. Obviously, he's very large, but I don't know if I've ever heard him pump his own tires. He's one of the most humble guys I've ever met. He goes about his work very quietly, but he's very, very disciplined about his nutrition, his workouts, his arm care, his physical therapy stuff in the training room. And when those lights turn off and the stadium turns red and he walks out, it's like he turns into a different person. And he starts throwing 104-mile-an-hour fastballs and makes guys look like they have no chance at all. And then you go into the clubhouse, and he's just a regular dude. And he's been a great mentor for me. Been somebody that I can go to in any situation, bounce ideas off of, talk to him about different situations or hitters or what he sees. And he's a ton of fun to hang around. He creates good energy for the bullpen. It's fun to watch him do his thing.
That's great. He dominates, man. I'll tell you that. He is awesome.
We hope you're enjoying the Cardinals Caravan. The players were greeted by President Dr. Dean Van Galen as they arrived at MSSU. That's when we got a chance to talk to them about special moments in their careers and getting advice for those dreaming of the MLB.
Hi, my name is Darren Zustiak and representing for KGTS Media, and today I've got Kyle McClellan here today, and I've got a couple of questions for him. Thank you for joining us today.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
So one of the questions I have is, you were a three-lettered star athlete, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. In high school, I played multiple sports. I was football, baseball, basketball. As I got my way through, I got closer to my senior year. I started to narrow that down. Baseball was something I continued to excel at, and kind of fell in love with it more and more and more. And was the path that I ultimately chose. But definitely tried all of them to figure out what was kind of my niche, and thankfully I found it.
Cool. And when growing up playing baseball, was your goal ever to be a St. Louis Cardinal?
Yeah, I mean, I grew up in St. Louis, so every kid that grows up in St. Louis, I think, has that dream, being in the backyard and playing for the St. Louis Cardinals, and so that was mine as well. Wanted to play Major League Baseball, but definitely wanted to play for the Cardinals, and was fortunate enough when I was in high school, got drafted by the Cardinals. Of all the teams out there, it just happened to be the Cardinals that drafted me, and got to make my way through the system. And I tell people all the time, my highlight of my career, the World Series was great and all that. But my debut, in St. Louis, in front of all my friends and family, it was the first time I ever pitched as a St. Louis Cardinal. Was on opening day in St. Louis, and that's a moment I'll never forget.
And so you said you were pitching on that day. Would you mind explaining more, what it felt that day? What did you do afterwards? Did you celebrate with everyone, have a good time?
Yeah, I mean, it was an out-of-body experience when I came in the game. You literally can't feel your body, and it took me a few pitches to kind of get under control. Matt Holliday was my first hitter I faced, and got him out. Had a 1-2-3 inning, got my first strike out of that game. There's a picture that Chris Lee of the St. Louis Post-Dispatch took after when I was leaving the field there. I struck out Brad Hopp to end the inning, and as I'm walking over, Yachty has the ball, and he's waiting for me at the baseline. And to come over and he puts his arm around me and he's smiling. I got my arm around him and he's giving me the ball. And Chris Lee has that picture. He took that picture. I have it. I had Yachty sign it. I have it on a metal print, and Yachty signed it for me. It's in my office. But just such a great memory there. And then afterwards, I also remember sitting in the training room on the table after trying to take it all in. And Dr. Paletta walked in, who fixed my elbow for me in the minor leagues. And, just a lot of gratitude. It kind of hits you that, hey, if he doesn't do his job, I don't have a chance to be here. If my parents didn't do what they did for me, I don't have a chance to be here. All my friends, all my family, all my coaches and everything. So it kind of all hit me, I think, at that moment. I just realized my childhood dream, and there's so many people that had a part of it. And it's kind of a cool moment to be able to reflect with all those people in mind.
I'm Haley Smith, and today I have Matt Kaproniak. All right, Matt. Reflecting on your journey from Trinity College to professional baseball, what has been the most significant challenges and rewards?
Most significant challenges have probably been just sort of transitioning into professional baseball, sort of knowing what that entails and trying to become a better baseball player day in, day out. But the rewards are you get to still continue to play the game you loved growing up, and yeah, that's about it for that one.
And in 2024, you had a standout season with the Memphis Redbirds, hitting a .309 with 20 home runs. What factors contributed to your success that season?
I think just being consistent day in, day out, doing the same things in the batting cage, and then just not getting trying to have a good mentality going to each game as well, and sort of just not getting down with the lows or too high with the highs. So, yeah.
As someone born in London and playing for the Great Britain national baseball team in the 2024 World Baseball Classic, what your international background, how does that influence your approach to the game?
Yeah, I was born there, wasn't raised there, but I guess from a standpoint, it got me into the WBC and being able to play with all those guys from the Great Britain team and seeing where they came from, and it was just a great experience, and helped me out with connecting with more people and getting to play some high-level baseball as well.
During your time with the Springfield Cardinals, you hit for the Circle in August of 2022. Can you share your memories and achievements of that moment?
Yeah, it was just a day in August about 2 years ago. I was in Amarillo and had a really good series. I was really hot going into that, or got really hot going into that series, and was able to knock off the triple. I hadn't had a triple yet that year, so I was able to get that. And then next day, Chandler Redmond hit the home run cycle, so it was pretty cool. Just two of us being able to do that was pretty cool. This was a lot harder, but yeah, that was just a great week for us.
The Cardinal Caravan offers a unique opportunity for you to meet fans outside of St. Louis. What do you enjoy most about meeting fans on the road, and how does that impact your perspective as a player?
Yeah, just being able to see the Cardinals fan base definitely motivates us, and this is my first Caravan as well, so just being able to finally get to see a lot more of the Cardinal fan base as well. I mean, I get to see them in spring training and then at the affiliates, but this is more of, I don't know, I guess a more personal experience with them, and it's not like before or after a game, so just being able to see people and talk with them as well.
Yes. What advice would you give to younger athletes who are playing in smaller programs like Trinity College and who aspire to play professional baseball?
Yeah, just keep working hard, getting after it day in, day out, and then just trying to have fun with it as well. Because at the end of the day, it's a sport, and if you can find ways in which you're having fun, and it can motivate you and keep you working hard as well.
What are some of those pregame rituals, if you have any, or maybe mid-game, and maybe some for the recovery as well?
Yeah, most of it is homework, scouting report type of stuff, studying the hitters, and then just getting my body ready. I'm not super superstitious. I don't have any quirky things that I do, but just trying to get ready physically as much as I can.
Absolutely, and you mentioned the training part of it. So, what does the training look like in season, and then what does it look like after season?
In season, it's definitely a lot lighter, a lot more maintenance work, a lot more running, conditioning type of stuff. In the off season, you can lift a little heavier, try to put on some weight, some muscle, push yourself a little more and be sore.
And from who is your all-time great pitcher that you think is either the greatest or should be arguably the greatest?
Probably the greatest is Nolan Ryan. My personal favorite is Sandy Koufax. I wore 32 for him for a long time. We're both left-handed, both have big curveballs, so he was someone I modeled a lot of my stuff after.
What would be one of the pitches that you could take from him that you could either master or maybe a brand new pitch that you haven't brought out yet that you could use?
I'd say the curveball. He had one of the best left-handed curveballs of all time, similar to Clayton Kershaw, and I throw a relatively similar curveball also. So.
Absolutely. And when you're on the mound, you prefer gum, sunflower seeds, maybe something else, or nothing at all?
Nothing. I don't want any distractions or anything to fall out of my mouth while I'm throwing, so I just go out there with nothing.
Absolutely. And what are your individual goals for the season and for the organization as well?
I think my individual goals probably align with the team goals. I want to win. I don't care if I'm in the bullpen or if I'm starting. I want to contribute. I want to be a part of the team, and I want to see us make a playoff run this year.
Absolutely. And how does it feel to be able to play with one of your best friends from a childhood?
It feels like a dream. If you showed me the script that said that this is how our life would turn out when we were 10 years old, we'd have thought you were joking. And here we are playing for the same big league team, going to work together every day.
Absolutely. And what's one of the hitters that has been your favorite to strike out? And then who's on your bucket list to strike out?
I'd say two that I have struck out, probably Bryce Harper and Shohei Ohtani. I don't know if it gets much better than that. On the bucket list, maybe I got Aaron Judge. I got to face him this year, threw him one pitch. He hit a single off me, so I'd like a little rematch against him.
Absolutely. And what would be the pitch that maybe you get him with?
Ooh, I think it depends on the situation. I'd like to get him with a fastball. I think that's always fun, but whatever gets him out, I'd be happy with.
Absolutely. And like I said, organizational goals, and say you guys make it to the postseason, how does the training or maybe the intensity ramp up, whether it's for yourself or for the players around you?
I think that's what we train all off season for. Everybody goes home, especially after the season that we had last year, with a bit of a sour taste in their mouth, wanting to make sure that that doesn't happen again. And we all show up really hungry for playoffs. So when we get there, I think everybody's ready for it because we've been envisioning it for the last 7 months.
Absolutely. My name is Dimitri Lloyd, and it's been an honor. Thank you, Lions and Cardinals fans, and have a great day.
Thank you.
The Cardinals Caravan is all about bringing the team closer to fans, giving them autographs, and they even got a surprise visit from Fred Bird. We talked to some about the special event.
So I enjoyed meeting the players. We've gone twice before, so it was fun. I like the asking questions, and I really enjoyed going up on the stage and meeting the players and getting stuff signed.
This is so fun. If you're a Cardinals fan, come here next year. Well, I got a lot of stuff signed. I got my ball signed and my card signed, and I got nuggied by Fred Bird, Redbird. Yeah, you get to ask lots of questions, and all the players will answer them. We also learned about the plays they've had over the year, and it was really cool.
It's always a fun time. It's a great time to get all the kids out here, enjoy meeting these players and being able to ask those questions so that they can feel like they're important. The kids have to feel like that they're loved by these athletes because they look up to them. So it's a very exciting time. Glad that the Joplin community, we have people from Arkansas, Oklahoma, Kansas. It's unbelievable how many people we have that come here, and we just hope that it continues to grow.
Well, baseball has always been my favorite sport and everything, so yeah, it has always been that way.
I liked meeting the players, and I liked actually seeing them with my eyes and actually getting to talk to him.
I asked Kyle about his championship ring. He said he got that back in, I think, 2008. So yeah, that was a really cool experience.
I thought it was really good to get to know more about the players, and we got autographs. It was just a really fun experience.
It was cool, and I really liked it.
I got a shirt. I signed it. Well, they signed it. And there we go. I just want you to know that you should always follow your dreams.
Thanks to all the great sponsors of the Cardinals Caravan, Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance, MSSU Department of Communication, and Zimmer Radio. And thank you for watching.